If you are over 45 and using olive oil daily because you believe it protects your health, there is something important. Clinical research suggests most men are not being told. Olive oil itself is not the problem. In fact, high-quality extra virgin olive oil is widely studied for its cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory benefits. The real issue is how it is being used. Because when used incorrectly, olive oil may not support your prostate the way you think, and in certain patterns, it may even contribute to metabolic conditions that indirectly worsen prostate symptoms. Many men wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., experience weaker urinary flow, or notice subtle changes in bladder control, and they assume it is just aging. Aging plays a role, but lifestyle patterns amplify it. Tonight, we are breaking down 5 olive oil mistakes that clinical experts believe may silently undermine prostate health over time. This is not about fear, it is about clarity. It is about understanding biology instead of guessing. The prostate is a hormone-sensitive gland that responds to inflammation, insulin signaling, body fat levels, and androgen metabolism. After age 40, testosterone gradually declines. But the enzyme 5-alpha reductase continues converting available testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. Elevated DHT is strongly associated with prostate tissue growth. Clinical research suggests that chronic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction can intensify this process. Olive oil, when used strategically within an anti-inflammatory dietary pattern, may support healthier metabolic signaling. But when used incorrectly, it becomes just another calorie source layered on top of an already inflammatory lifestyle. The first mistake clinical nutrition experts frequently observe is using low-quality or highly refined olive oil while assuming all olive oil is the same. Not all olive oil contains protective polyphenols. Extra virgin olive oil is minimally processed and retains antioxidant compounds such as hydroxytyrosol and oleocanthal. Refined olive oil, often labeled simply as light or pure, undergoes chemical processing that significantly reduces polyphenol content. Clinical research suggests these polyphenols contribute to olive oil's anti-inflammatory effects. Without them, olive oil becomes primarily a monounsaturated fat source with fewer protective properties. Many men unknowingly purchase cheaper, highly refined versions and assume they are receiving the same biological benefit. Over time, this misunderstanding reduces potential protective impact. The second mistake is using olive oil in excessive amounts under the belief that more equals better. Olive oil is calorie-dense. 1 tablespoon contains approximately 120 calories. Clinical experts emphasize that excess caloric intake contributes to weight gain, especially visceral abdominal fat. Visceral fat is metabolically active tissue that influences estrogen production, insulin resistance, and inflammatory cytokines. Elevated abdominal fat levels are associated with hormonal imbalance, including altered testosterone-estrogen ratios. Hormonal imbalance may indirectly affect prostate tissue growth patterns. Olive oil itself is not harmful, but excessive intake within a calorie-surplus diet may worsen metabolic stress. Clinical research suggests that maintaining a healthy waist circumference is one of the most important lifestyle factors for long-term prostate support. The third mistake is heating olive oil improperly at very high temperatures. While extra virgin olive oil has moderate heat stability, repeatedly overheating it to smoking point may degrade some beneficial compounds and produce oxidative byproducts. Oxidative stress is a key driver of cellular aging, including in prostate tissue. Clinical research suggests that chronic oxidative stress contributes to inflammatory signaling pathways. When olive oil is used for deep frying at very high temperatures or reheated multiple times, its antioxidant properties may decline. Nutrition experts generally recommend using extra virgin olive oil for low to medium heat cooking and using stable fats appropriately when higher temperatures are required. This protects the structural integrity of the oil's beneficial components. The fourth mistake is using olive oil alone without pairing it with fats-liberal phytonutrients that enhance its biological value. Olive oil acts as a carrier fat. Lycopene, found in tomatoes, is fat-soluble. Clinical studies showed lycopene absorption increases significantly when consumed with dietary fat. Without fat, much of it passes through the digestive tract unabsorbed. Mediterranean dietary patterns often combine olive oil with cooked tomatoes, garlic, and leafy greens. Clinical research suggests this synergy may support antioxidant activity in prostate tissue. Using olive oil alone on highly processed foods does not replicate this effect. The protective potential lies in the combination, not isolation. The fifth mistake is assuming olive oil can compensate for a diet high in refined carbohydrates and ultra-processed foods. Elevated blood sugar triggers insulin spikes. Chronic hyperinsulinemia is associated with systemic inflammation. Inflammatory signaling influences prostate tissue behavior and bladder sensitivity. Some men believe adding olive oil to a processed high-sugar diet neutralizes the damage. Clinical research does not support this assumption. Olive oil may improve lipid profiles, but it cannot override persistent metabolic stress from poor dietary patterns. The prostate responds to overall inflammatory load, not one isolated ingredient. Now consider nighttime urination, often called nocturia. Many men blame prostate enlargement alone. Clinical experts explain that insulin resistance, evening alcohol intake, caffeine consumption, and sleep apnea can all contribute to nighttime waking. Inflammatory signaling increases bladder sensitivity. Hormonal shifts affect urine production cycles. If olive oil is consumed excessively late in the evening as part of heavy meals, digestive stress may also impact sleep quality. Sleep fragmentation further disrupts hormonal balance, including cortisol rhythms. Cortisol dysregulation may influence inflammatory processes. Everything connects. Another overlooked factor is storage. Olive oil exposed to heat, light, and air gradually oxidizes. Oxidized oils may contribute to cellular stress rather than reduce it. Clinical nutrition specialists recommend storing extra virgin olive oil in dark glass bottles away from heat sources. Small details compound over years. Let's correct something clearly and calmly. There is no credible evidence that olive oil destroys the prostate by itself. The phrase is attention-grabbing, but the biological reality is nuanced. The damage comes from patterns of misuse, low-quality oil, excessive intake, poor pairing, high heat degradation, and metabolic imbalance. When used intelligently within a balanced dietary structure, olive oil can be supportive. When misunderstood, it becomes neutral at best and counterproductive at worst. Many men feel embarrassed discussing urinary changes. Clinical experts emphasize that benign prostatic hyperplasia is extremely common after age 50. Addressing lifestyle patterns early may help reduce symptom progression. Shame delays action. Awareness accelerates it. If you are noticing weaker flow, urgency, or nighttime waking, it does not mean something catastrophic is happening. It means your body is responding to cumulative inputs over time. Small adjustments matter. Choosing high-quality, extra virgin olive oil, using moderate portions, pairing it with cooked tomatoes to enhance lycopene absorption, reducing refined carbohydrates, protecting sleep quality. These steps are not dramatic, but clinical research suggests consistency produces meaningful impact. The real danger is not olive oil. The real danger is misunderstanding how it fits into the larger metabolic picture. And this is only the beginning. Clinical research suggests that when discussing prostate health, one of the most misunderstood mechanisms involves hormone signaling, particularly the balance between testosterone, dihydrotestosterone, insulin, and inflammatory mediators. Many men assume prostate enlargement is simply a mechanical consequence of aging. However, medical experts emphasize that it is more accurately a hormonally mediated tissue response influenced by metabolic conditions. Olive oil enters this conversation not as a hormone regulator by itself, but as a dietary component that may either support or undermine metabolic balance depending on how it is used. Dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, plays a central role in prostate growth. The enzyme 5-alpha reductase converts testosterone into DHT within prostate tissue. Elevated DHT activity is strongly associated with benign prostatic hyperplasia. Pharmaceutical treatments often target this enzyme directly, but clinical research also suggests that chronic inflammation and insulin resistance may influence androgen signaling pathways. When insulin levels remain persistently elevated due to high refined carbohydrate intake, downstream inflammatory cascades become more active. These cascades may increase oxidative stress and cellular proliferation signals inside hormone-sensitive tissues, including the prostate. Here's where the fourth and fifth olive oil mistakes become even more significant. If olive oil is layered on top of a diet already high in refined starches, sugars, and ultra-processed foods, the anti-inflammatory potential of olive oil may be overwhelmed. Clinical experts repeatedly emphasize that inflammation is cumulative. It is not neutralized by a single healthy ingredient. It is reduced through consistent pattern shifts. Another layer to understand is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress refers to the imbalance between free radicals and antioxidant defenses. The prostate is particularly susceptible to oxidative damage because it is metabolically active and rich in fatty acids. Clinical research suggests diets rich in natural antioxidants may support cellular resilience. Extra virgin olive oil contains polyphenols that function as antioxidants. However, as discussed earlier, these compounds are sensitive to heat, light, and processing. Using refined olive oil devoid of polyphenols removes much of its antioxidant benefit. Over time, relying on low-quality oils may provide calories without delivering protective compounds. But synergy remains the most powerful concept here. Lycopene, found in tomatoes, has been studied extensively in relation to prostate health. Clinical research suggests that men with higher circulating lycopene levels often demonstrate improved markers of prostate cellular stability. Lycopene helps neutralize certain oxidative molecules that contribute to DNA stress within cells. However, lycopene is fat-soluble. Without dietary fat, absorption may be limited. Olive oil enhances its bioavailability. This is why pairing cooked tomatoes with olive oil is more biologically impactful than consuming either alone. Cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli and cauliflower contain compounds that influence estrogen metabolism pathways. While olive oil does not directly regulate estrogen, combining healthy fats with fiber-rich vegetables may support overall hormonal balance. Clinical experts emphasize that hormone balance is not about eliminating hormones, but about maintaining proper ratios. Visceral fat tissue can convert testosterone into estrogen via aromatase activity. Excess body fat, therefore, indirectly influences prostate tissue dynamics. Moderate olive oil intake within a calorie-controlled dietary structure may support healthier body composition compared to processed trans fats. But excess intake can still contribute to weight gain. Now consider inflammatory cytokines. Cytokines are signaling molecules released during immune responses. Chronic low-grade inflammation leads to persistent cytokine activity. Research suggests that inflammatory cytokines may contribute to prostate tissue remodeling and symptom progression. Diets high in omega-3 fatty acids are associated with lower inflammatory markers. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, but not particularly high in omega-3 south. This means relying exclusively on olive oil without incorporating fatty fish or other omega-3 sources may limit anti-inflammatory potential. Again, it is not about elimination, but integration. Even sleep plays a role in this hormonal web. Clinical research suggests poor sleep quality disrupts testosterone rhythms and elevates cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone that, when chronically elevated, may increase inflammatory signaling. Men who consume heavy high-calorie meals late at night, even if those meals contain olive oil, may experience sleep disruption. Late-night digestion competes with restorative sleep processes. Sleep fragmentation is associated with increased nighttime urination, independent of prostate size. Addressing evening meal timing may therefore indirectly improve nocturnal hydration patterns also matter. Some men dramatically restrict daytime fluids and consume most fluids in the evening. This shifts urine production into nighttime hours. Olive oil does not correct fluid timing imbalance. Behavioral adjustments remain critical. Let us examine another common mistake closely related to olive oil usage. We're replacing healthy fats, but not eliminating harmful ones. Clinical experts frequently observe dietary patterns where men add olive oil, but continue consuming processed vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids. Excessive omega-6 intake, without balancing omega-3 south, may promote pro-inflammatory eicosanoid production. The solution is not adding more fat indiscriminately, but restructuring fat sources entirely. Blood vessel health is another indirect connection. The prostate depends on adequate microcirculation. Endothelial dysfunction, often associated with insulin resistance and poor dietary patterns, impairs blood flow. Some research suggests that dietary patterns rich in polyphenols may support endothelial function. High quality, extra virgin olive oil contributes polyphenols when preserved correctly, but degraded oils may lose this property. There is also growing interest in the gut-prostate axis. Clinical research suggests gut microbiota composition influences systemic inflammation. Diets rich in fiber, polyphenols, and plant diversity promote beneficial microbial profiles. Olive oil can be part of this pattern, but without fiber-rich vegetables and fermented foods, the gut environment may remain dysregulated. Gut inflammation may indirectly influence systemic inflammatory markers, including those affecting prostate tissue. Now consider the psychological layer. Many men seek single solutions because they feel overwhelmed by complexity. Just tell me what to eat. But clinical experts emphasize that health is rarely one ingredient deep. It is pattern deep. Olive oil is powerful when part of a Mediterranean-style structure. Vegetables, legumes, whole grains, fish, moderate portions, and low processed sugar intake. Used in isolation while maintaining a Western dietary pattern, it loses much of its strategic value. Another subtle but important factor is consistency. Clinical research suggests long-term dietary patterns influence outcomes more than short bursts of clean eating. Sporadic use of olive oil, combined with weeks of processed food consumption, does not create stable metabolic shifts. The prostate responds to years of signaling, not days. Let's speak directly to men who are already experiencing symptoms. Weak stream, hesitancy, urgency, incomplete emptying, and nighttime waking can be distressing. Clinical experts stress that early lifestyle adjustments may complement medical management. Olive oil mistakes alone are unlikely to cause severe symptoms, but compounded metabolic stress over time may worsen progression. There is no shame in needing medication. There is no weakness in seeking medical evaluation. Lifestyle optimization is supportive, not competitive with medical care. Combining both often produces the strongest outcomes. Clinical research suggests that once men understand the mechanisms behind prostate enlargement, the next step is not fear, it is structure. The prostate does not respond to panic decisions, it responds to consistent biological signaling over years. So the final and most important piece of this conversation is execution. How olive oil is used daily determines whether it becomes supportive or irrelevant. First, quality must be extra virgin olive oil should be cold pressed, stored in dark glass, and protected from heat and light. Polyphenol content matters because these compounds contribute to antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity. Clinical experts emphasize that oxidized or highly refined oils do not provide the same biological environment. Choosing quality is the foundation. Second, portion control must be intentional. Research consistently shows that maintaining healthy body weight is strongly associated with improved hormonal balance and reduced inflammatory burden. 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day within a calorie-controlled diet is generally considered reasonable in Mediterranean dietary models. The key is replacement, not addition. Olive oil should replace processed seed oils, trans fats, and excessive saturated fats, not simply be layered on top of them. Third, pairing determines potency. Olive oil should not stand alone if prostate support is the goal. Clinical research suggests combining it with cooked tomatoes significantly enhances lycopene absorption. Lycopene has been studied for its antioxidant properties and association with prostate cellular health. Cooking tomatoes breaks down plant cell walls, and consuming them with fat increases bioavailability. This is biochemical synergy. Adding crushed garlic introduces sulfur-containing compounds that may support immune signaling. Incorporating leafy greens provides fiber and plant polyphenols that nourish gut microbiota. Gut health influences systemic inflammation, which in turn influences hormone-sensitive tissues. Everything connects. Fourth, balance the fat profile. Olive oil provides monounsaturated fats, but clinical experts stress the importance of omega-3 fatty acids for anti-inflammatory balance. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, or mackerel contribute omega-3 south that help regulate inflammatory when omegas reintake is adequate and omega-6 intake from processed foods is reduced. Systemic inflammatory tone may decrease. Lower inflammatory tone may reduce stress signaling in prostate tissue over time. Fifth, address refined carbohydrates. This is often the hidden driver. Persistent insulin spikes from high sugar intake promote inflammatory pathways and may influence androgen signaling. Olive oil cannot neutralize chronic hyperglycemia. Reducing ultra-processed foods, sugary beverages, and refined starches supports metabolic stability. Stable insulin levels support healthier hormone signaling. Healthier hormone signaling influences prostate tissue behavior. Sixth, timing matters. Large, heavy meals late in the evening can disrupt sleep architecture. Clinical research suggests poor sleep is associated with altered testosterone rhythms, elevated cortisol, and increased nighttime urine production. Eating earlier, moderating portion size at dinner, and reducing evening caffeine or alcohol may improve nocturia independent of prostate size. Olive oil used strategically earlier in the day may support satiety without burdening nighttime digestion. 7th, hydration patterns require attention. Consistent hydration during the day and moderating fluid intake close to bedtime may reduce nighttime waking. Some men severely restrict daytime fluids and overcompensate in the evening. This shifts urine production to nighttime hours. Behavioral adjustments often produce noticeable changes. 8th, movement influences everything. Resistance training and moderate aerobic exercise are associated with improved insulin sensitivity, better testosterone maintenance, and reduced visceral fat. Visceral fat contributes to hormonal imbalance via aromatase activity, which converts testosterone into estrogen. Hormonal imbalance influences prostate tissue signaling. Olive oil cannot compensate for physical inactivity, but when paired with regular movement, its anti-inflammatory properties become part of a larger supportive network. Now let's address something directly and calmly. The phrase "destroying your prostate" captures attention, but clinical reality is more nuanced. The prostate is resilient. It adapts slowly to cumulative inputs. What damages long-term health is not 1 tablespoon of olive oil. It is chronic metabolic stress, excess body fat, persistent inflammation, poor sleep, and neglect of early symptoms. Olive oil mistakes matter because they reflect misunderstanding, and misunderstanding delays corrective action. Medical experts emphasize that benign prostatic hyperplasia is common after age 50. It does not mean failure. It does not mean weakness. It means the body is changing. Early awareness provides leverage. Men who adopt anti-inflammatory dietary patterns, maintain waist circumference within healthy range, prioritize sleep, and consult healthcare professionals when symptoms progress often experience better quality of life. Screening and medical guidance remain essential. Nutrition is a powerful supportive tool, but it does not replace evaluation when symptoms worsen. Alpha blockers and 5-alpha reductase inhibitors are sometimes appropriate depending on severity. Integrating lifestyle optimization with medical care produces the strongest outcomes. Another overlooked factor is consistency over years. Clinical research repeatedly shows that long-term dietary patterns influence chronic conditions more than short-term interventions. Occasional healthy meals cannot override daily inflammatory habits, but consistent improvements compound. Replacing processed oils with extra virgin olive oil, pairing it with tomatoes and vegetables, reducing refined sugars, walking daily, sleeping 7 hours. These actions appear simple, yet their cumulative effect over a decade may be profound. There's also a mental shift required. Many men wait for crisis before adjusting lifestyle, but prostate health responds best to prevention, supporting circulation, reducing oxidative stress, balancing hormones, and maintaining metabolic stability are proactive strategies. Waiting for severe symptoms reduces options. If you are currently waking at night, experiencing urgency, or noticing weaker stream, understand this clearly. You are not alone. Millions of men experience similar changes. Silence increases anxiety. Information reduces it. Small structural adjustments restore confidence. The real message is not to fear olive oil. The real message is to respect biology. Use olive oil intelligently. Choose quality. Control portions. Pair strategically. Balance overall diet. Protect sleep. Move daily. Seek guidance when needed. Clinical research suggests that aging does not have to equal decline in quality of life. While some tissue changes are inevitable, symptom severity and progression are strongly influenced by modifiable factors. You may not control every biological process, but you control daily inputs. Your prostate is not fragile. It is responsive. It responds to inflammation or calm, to metabolic chaos or stability, to neglect or attention. And the most powerful truth is this: small, consistent corrections made today may determine how you feel 10 years from now. That is not dramatic. That is physiological reality. There is strength in learning. There is power in adjustment. There is dignity in caring for your health without shame. Because protecting your prostate is not about fear of disease. It is about preserving sleep, confidence, mobility, intimacy, and freedom. And that begins not with eliminating olive oil, but with using it wisely.